Hey guys, it's Surgeon here, and welcome to an old school RuneScape money making guide. Now, with this being my first kind of money making guide, I figure I start this off with something a little bit basic and something that can be used by every kind of player in this game, whether you're free to play or pay to play. And if you remember, you can make upwards of 400k an hour. The kicker to all this is that it requires absolutely no skills. Now, you've probably heard about this method before, but I'm going to go over it anyway because there's some of you who probably haven't heard of this. So, let's get right into it. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be tanning hide. Now, my recommendations to you before you start this money-making method is that you have I would say about 100k. It's going to allow you to invest some money into it, especially if you're going to end up doing dragon hides. Now, if you want to work your way up to making that money, to making up that first 100k, you can go ahead and start with cowhides if you have around 10k or so. Now, what I'm going to recommend before we get into this is that you buy at least one stamina potion and probably one super energy potion, especially if you are a low level agility and you do not have graceful. I'm assuming that if you're doing this kind of money making method that you probably don't have either one of those. You're probably a relatively new account and you're just looking to make like your first mill, just get some starting cash, just make a quick buck here and there. So what I decided to do was, I'm not going to use my main account, obviously, because my main account has 85 agility and it has full graceful. And to be honest, if you have an account with these kind of stats, I probably wouldn't recommend you do this kind of method because you can probably go do Zora and make about 3 times as much money. So, with that being said, I went ahead and hopped on one of my alts, which has 1 agility and no graceful, to give you a better idea as if you're doing this at that kind of level, how much stamina and how much super energy you would be using. So, as you can see in the video in the background, I did about 5 inventories of black dragonhide and 5 inventories of blue dragonhide, and I used about 2 doses of stamina potion and 1 3-dose super energy pot. And keep in mind, I did all that with 1 agility. So with that being said, I did about 10 runs in about 5 minutes. So you multiply that out, you can do about 12 runs, or you can do about 120 runs in an hour. And with those 120 runs in an hour, you can do about 3,240 hides in an hour. So, whether or not you're doing dragonhide or you're doing cowhide, you can go ahead and figure out your profit from that point by doing that math right there. So, we're going to get into the profit that I made from this. Now, if you look on the screen right now, you can see that I went ahead and sold the dragon leather for, it's really hard to see on the preview, but I sold it for 3,500 each for the black dragon leather, and I bought the dragon hide for 3,279, and the blue dragon hide I bought for 2,118 and sold it for 2,309. Now, these are both pretty close in the amount of profit that you get per hide, but we have to take into account a few other things, right? We used a stamina potion, we used 2 doses of that, and we used a super energy pot as well. And we have to keep in mind that each one of these costs 20. So, let's start off with the black dragon leather. So it cost us 3,279 GP, and we sold it for 3,500 GP. So that leaves me with a profit of 221 GP per hide. Now that's raw profit. Keep in mind, each dragon hide that you make, you have to spend 20 GP in order to tan it. So that's 201 GP. The blue dragon hide, we bought it for 2,118 GP, and we sold it for 2,309 GP, which is a profit of 191. And after you subtract the 20 GP for tanning, it's 171 per hide. Now, keep in mind that the money that we used, the money that I have up on the screen right now, that is the price of a super energy pot and the price of a 2-dose stamina potion. So all in all, in order to do those 270 hides that we just did, it cost us 7,444 GP. So what we can do is take 7,444 and divide it out by 270 to give us the average price per hide, which ends up being around 28 GP per hide when you account for the stamina potion and the energy potion that you're having to use every so often. So you subtract the extra 8 GP from each one, it takes us to about 193 profit per hide for black dragon hide and about 163 profit per hide for blue dragon hide. Keep in mind, this is at the time of recording of this video. So if you take that, you take 193 times the 3,240 hides that you can do in an hour, you're going to make about 625k in an hour. And if you do that for the same thing for the blue dragon hide, you're going to make about 528k in an hour. And it costs you no skills. Now, that is if you are able to purchase 3,240 hides in order to do this for an hour straight. Not accounting for the stamina potions, the energy potions you would need as well. So I'm a realist. I understand that a lot of us probably don't have 10.5 mil sitting around our bank in order to purchase all that. So more realistically, if you're having to go to Varrock, sell your hides, buy more dragon hides, and continue that motion in order to build up your wealth, you're probably going to end up making around the 400k mark. But yes, in theory, if you had about 11 mil sitting there to where you could buy all the supplies to do this for an hour straight, you could make, at the time of recording this video, you could make about 625k in an hour with no skills. That is pretty insane just for tanning some hides. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's going to do it for me. When I found out about this method, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty insane. I figured I should let some people know about this, considering I have a lot of people who haven't really played this game for a very long time, people who have some low stats. So I thought this might be helpful for those of you who are trying to start to build up your wealth and start to get your first mil, get your first 100k, get your first 10 mil, whatever. This is a good way. It takes a little bit of time, obviously, because the more money you invest into it, the more money you're going to make out of it. But again, it costs no skills, requires a little bit of starting capital. It's one of those money-making methods where you kind of see yourself getting richer and richer with the more money you get to start investing into the hide. So it's kind of fun in that aspect. But I hope this guide you guys found helpful. I hope some of you can use it to your advantage to start making yourself some money. Hopefully you guys found this guide helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more videos of this kind or just see more content in general, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have any thoughts on the video, or you want to give me some feedback on how I can make other videos of this kind better, leave it in the comments section. And if you didn't like the video, of course, leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments. That way I can try to help you out. Other than that, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, day, morning, whatever time of day it is that you're watching. And remember, have fun and stay motivated.